So as always, I start with the quote. You can hear me perfectly well, yes? Give a wee wave just to... Okay, good. In the absence of clearly defined goals, we become strangely loyal to performing daily acts of trivia. So in the absence of clearly defined goals, we become strangely loyal to performing daily acts of trivia. And I've actually put aka Facebook, but no matter, that's a bit judgmental on my part. So today is the first day of spring. So a spring clean. So have a wee look, have a spring clean, and see what you can let go and replace with a new. So the theme for today is let it all go and see what stays. Let it all go and see what stays. First day of spring. Okay, we're going to lie down on our back in Shavasana. But our palms are going to be on the ground instead of palms upwards. I don't know if we've done this one. I think we've done this one before. You can see me fine, yeah. Okay, so we're lying down with our palms on the ground and the feet just far enough apart so when you turn the toes in, you can touch the big toes. So don't make it passive. When you're turning your toes in, you get a nice stretch right through up to the thighs and release. The palms are down. So all we're going to do is, as we inhale, we touch the toes together. Exhale, let the feet flop out. Inhale, touch the toes. Exhale, let the feet flop out. If you're managing to touch the toes without any effort, then you slightly part the feet further. So you get a nice strain in the thigh muscles, a stretch in the upper hip area. Inhale. Touch your toes, wait for your natural pause. Exhale and allow the feet to flop out, toes pointing outwards. So of course you're allowing the abdomen to inflate, the rib cage to expand, and the final puff of air up into the top of the chest. Wait for your natural pause before you release the toes. Exhale and soften, allow the feet to roll out. So as always, we're cleaning out the lungs, oxygenating the blood, calming the nervous system. Let it all go and see what stays. So as you exhale, you soften and surrendering your body weight onto the ground. Not just your body weight, but your mental weight as well. Those thousands of thoughts we have each day, let them all go. See what stays. A couple more with the toes turning in. If it's become too easy, you slightly separate the feet a bit further to increase the stretch. Now let your toes be, allow the feet just to flop out naturally. Your palms are down the side of the body. So we're going to inhale and we just roll the palms upwards, which flattens the shoulders with the inhalation. Wait for your natural pause. Exhale as you roll the palms downwards. As simple as that. This is called Kia Kriya. It's working on your nervous system and going slightly deeper than the aggressive postures. Inhale as we turn the palms upwards. Exhale as we turn the palms downwards. Inhale upwards. Exhale down. 3 more with the hands. Slow, smooth and deep. Inflating the abdomen, expanding the rib cage. Final puff of air in the clavicle area. Let go of everything and see what stays. Now take your awareness away from your hands, leaving them palms down. We're going to move our head. We inhale as we turn the head to the right. Exhale as we take it back to neutral. Inhale, turn the head to the left. Wait for your pause. Exhale as we go back to neutral. Continue in your own time. Inhale to right. Check that you're not dropping the chin and tucking it into your shoulder. Keep your neck long. This means you'll stretch your trapezius muscles on the back of the skull, the occiput. Exhale to neutral. Inhale to the side, whichever side you're at. Exhale to neutral. Once more to either side. And now we incorporate the 3 movements at the same time. This is where the mind comes into play with the breath and with awareness. So we inhale as the toes come into touch, the hands turn upwards, and the head goes to the right. Wait for your natural pause. Exhale as we release the toes to flop out, the palms go downwards, the head comes back to neutral. Inhale as the toes touch, the palms turn upwards, the head goes to the left. Exhale, floppy feet, palms downwards, head neutral. Just continue at your own pace. Inhaling, toes touching, palms upwards, head to the side. Exhale, floppy feet, palms downwards, head neutral. Once more, head to each side. Your own time, your own breath, your own hold. So you lie for a second with floppy feet, palms downwards, head in neutral. And just gently compress your lower back against the ground as you inhale. It's not aggressive. You're gently pressing that natural lordosis, that natural curve in the lower back onto the ground. It's a gentle pelvic tilt. Inhale as you press down. Exhale as you release and soften and surrender. As you press down, your feet will come in a little, but you're not trying to touch the toes. They just naturally come in with the movement. Now we're going to do some cycling. So trying to keep as much of the lower back compressed onto the ground, we're just going to cycle forwards. And all you're trying to do is straighten the legs, exaggerate the movement. So we're not lifting the legs up high, you're not taking the lower back off the ground, you're keeping it on the ground. And pick one leg that you're focusing on with the breath. And make the breath movement with whichever leg you're focusing on. Forward cycling. Nice and slow, trying to straighten the legs with each movement. You're exaggerating the movement. If you find it's becoming a strain on the thighs or the abdominals, then you just stop for a second, take a few breaths, and continue. Place your feet on the ground, take a few breaths. Press the lower back onto the ground with the inhalation. And as you exhale, release completely. And now the same movement, but in reverse. It's a fixed wheel bike, so we can do this. Cycling backwards, nice and slow, exaggerate the movement. As I say, pick one leg to focus the inhalation and exhalation on. Remember, the movement is in line with the breath. So check that you're not charging away with the movement. A few more breaths. And then clasp your knees. And we're just going to rock. Massage the spine. You're not allowing the head to go back on the ground. You're keeping your chin tucked in. A gentle rock forward and back. And then side to side. This one's a little bit more trickier. Keeping the knees clasped. We'll just roll from side to side. If you go right over, you can use your elbows as a stopping point. Depends how much movement you get. So we're loosening the spine. A couple more in your own time. Release your clasp. Stretch away your legs. Take a full yogic breath. Really inflate the abdomen, exaggerate the movement, which allows the diaphragm to push right down so the air's getting into the lower lobes of the lungs. As the breath comes in, exaggerate the expansion of the rib cage, which helps to stretch your intercostal muscles. And the last puff of air is up in your clavicle. And as you exhale, really let go, soften and surrender every muscle, any tensions. Let it all go. See what returns. And again, I'm deliberately exaggerating the movements here. Inflate stomach, expand the rib cage. You can feel the stretching of the intercostals and your final puff of air in the top. Last one. Remember, 70% of metabolic waste is released through the lungs. So this is a wonderful opportunity to cleanse the body from a cellular level upwards. Now we take the right leg and we're just going to do circles of the right leg, keeping it straight. It doesn't matter how large your circle is, but it does matter that you keep the leg straight. Inhale as we lift up the right leg, clockwise movement. Exhale as you gently lower. Don't worry if there's any creaks. It's just the muscles, the ligaments, the tendons slowly readjusting their position if you haven't had this movement for a while. I'm getting a few creaks and snaps and pops. It can also be air bubbles in the synovial fluid in the joints, gently getting compressed. So none of it is any drama, as long as you do it slowly with awareness and with the breath. Nice and slow. Inhale as you come up. Exhale as you lower and release. In your own practice, you can set a specific number so you know how you're progressing, or you can just continue until the body naturally says, that's enough. A couple more. Remember, there's a difference between healthy and unhealthy pain. Unhealthy pain is an injury that you're pushing too far. Healthy discomfort is when you're just asking the muscle to start to exercise it. We'll switch to the left leg clockwise. Inhale on the upward movement, keeping it straight, gently stretch of the hamstring. And you're getting a contraction of the thigh muscle. Breathing slowly and deeply so you're reducing the chance of lactic acid. Inhale in the upward movement. Exhale on the downward. Very good for the abdominals. It's good for flattening the lower back. And I'm sure you're finding it now, it's surprisingly challenging. You're only lifting your own leg, no one else's. There's no weights involved. We go back to the right leg. When you're ready, anti-clockwise. If you're getting a slight strain in the groin now, then you stop and take some comfort breaths. Inhale in the upward movement, exhale in the downward. When you're ready, change leg. Anti-clockwise on the left leg. Three more. Anti-clockwise in the left leg. Keeping the leg straight and trying to get the full range of movement of the hip joint. And then let go in Shavasana. Floppy feet. Palms facing upwards, allowing the shoulders to roll out. And check that your chin is not painting the ceiling. A full yogic breath. Wait for your natural pause. It's said to be the seed of meditation. That space, waiting for the breath to release. Let it all go. See what stays. One more breath. Inflate the abdomen, expand the rib cage, right up to the top of the clavicle. And we're going to come on to our left hand side. We just roll onto our left hand side. We're going to rest on our elbow. We've got our toes at right angles to give us balance. And we have our right hand in front of our torso for balance again. If you're more confident with your balance, you can keep your right arm on the side of your body. You can stretch your toes. We'll be kind to ourselves today. And all we're going to do is we're going to inhale as we raise the right leg. Exhale, lower. Inhale as we raise. You're keeping it raised up for the length of the pause of the breath. Exhale, lower. When you feel you've had enough, you just stop and breathe slowly and deeply. But if you feel you can have a couple more, it's a surprisingly strong one. Now we're going to take the leg forward without leaning back. So we inhale, exhale forward. So the tendency is to roll the torso back, which means you won't get the stretch. We inhale as we take the right leg forward. Exhale as we take it back. Try to prevent the torso from leaning back, which means the leg will go further, but you're reducing the stretch. A very good stretch. These are reasonably strong. With time, you can let go of the elbow and rest your head on your hand and straighten your feet, but we'll keep it nice and simple today. Inhale as we stretch the right leg forward. Exhale as we take it back. Last one going forward. Now we're going to take a right leg back. I get minimal movement in this one with all the cycling and swimming, but it will tell you what condition your body's in. So we inhale as we move the right leg back, and we're trying not to lean forward. Exhale back to neutral. Of course, you can stay, once you inhale and you take it back, you can stay in a position, inhale, exhale, and keep it leaning back, but it's a lot more challenging. Take a few comfort breaths without moving the leg at all, because you know what's coming next. We change side. You're not holding tension in the shoulders and the neck. And you can just roll over and face the other side, or you can come up and spin round in the bottom, whichever you prefer. Elbow under the shoulder. Right hand, palm facing forward. Left hand balanced in the middle of the torso. Inhale as we raise the left leg up. Hold for your natural pause. That's a strengthening aspect of the yoga. Exhale as you lower. For those of you going slightly quicker, you're going to lose a leg if you're not careful. And of course, you're trying to keep everything else relaxed. No tension in the shoulders, no tightness in the neck. Now we take the leg forward. So we inhale as we stretch your left leg forward. Again, you can place a leg on the ground and rest it, but if you're taking it forward and getting the workout anyway, why would you drop it? Inhale as you take your foot forward, a lovely pull, contraction of the thigh muscle, a stretch of the gluteals. You're stretching the lower back muscles. Try not to take your torso forward. Let it all go and see what stays. Now backwards. Inhale as we take a left leg backwards. without taking the torso forward. Couple more. Slow, smooth, and deep breaths. Once you're finished, take a few comfort breaths. Just check that there's no tension in the body. If there is, just release that particular area. Any tingling, any areas of warmth, try to take your awareness and understand what's happening with the body and your mind. Now we're going to go in our stomach. We're stretching out our hands. You're placing your chin or your forehead on the stomach. I'm not sure if you'll hear me if I do this with this microphone. We're going to do a diagonal stretch. So you're stretching through the right arm and the left leg. You're inhaling. You're not lifting. You're stretching through the right arm and the left leg. It's a wonderful stretch. And soften. And you alternate. Now it's left arm and right leg. Inhale and just walk the left arm away. Walk your fingers away. Stretch your fingers away. Walk your toes away. And relax. And just alternate in your own time. Waiting for that natural pause. It's a lovely stretch. Alternating. Right arm, left leg. Hold for the pause, release. Left arm, right leg. Couple more to either side. Remember, it takes 6 seconds for the body, the muscles, the tendons, the ligaments, to start to assist you properly and to come into alignment with what you're doing. So this is why you don't bounce. You give our body a chance to help you. Take our hands in line with our face, tuck our toes under, and we gently push up, sitting back on our heels, and we'll stretch through the fingers. Now I'm trying not to smother my mouth in this microphone, but you're walking the fingers away, and then using the weight of the buttocks to elongate the torso. So gently come up, walk, 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 stretch those arms. And then as you exhale, it's a lovely stretch. Inhale, stretch through those fingers. I'm feeling a little tight after that half an hour in a freezing pool yesterday, but a couple more. Walk through the fingers as you inhale and soften, soften, soften. With the exhalation, let it all go and see what stays. Now we gently come up into the cat. Now remember, the hands are directly underneath the shoulders. If you've got weak wrists and you find this a little uncomfortable, just take your fingers and edge them a wee bit forward, further forward, so it just changes the angle. Check that your knees are directly underneath your hips. As I keep saying, you've got to be honest with the width of your hips, otherwise you'll lose balance. Check that you're firm on all fours. And we're going to do the identical diagonal stretch as we did a line on the ground. So we're not lifting the arms and legs, we're just stretching them out. So we do lift them off the ground, obviously. We take our right arm and our left leg, and we keep them parallel to the ground. And then we inhale, and it's the same stretch, but different, because you've got the strengthening aspect through the arm and through the leg. Inhale, stretch through as you look towards your right fingers and point your left toe and relax. So this is the three aspects of yoga. We're balancing, we're stretching, and we're strengthening with awareness and with the breath. So aerobics is fine. You've still got the movement, but you don't have the awareness of the breath. If you start to shake, it means that the primary muscles have had their fill and the secondary muscles are starting to take over. So that's time to stop. If you start to shake, you're out of breath, you stop. Take a few comfort breaths. Check everything's okay. Check that your wrists are fine. Get rid of that lactic acid. And then we change to the left arm and right leg. Get your balance. Stretch out left arm, right leg. Inhale, and it's a lovely stretch. Now you're not crunching your shoulders up around your ears. Everything else is loose. Stretching, breathing in, and softening. A couple more in your own time. Gently come out of the position. Sit on your heels. This is called Vajrasana. Any digestive problems, upset stomach. This is a position to sit in. Place the left hand on top of the right, thumbs touching. And just start to breathe slowly and gently. Keep the spine straight. Keep the chin parallel to the ground. And to prevent our mind from wandering onto unnecessary thoughts, we'll do visual alternate nostril breathing. So we take the breath in through the left nostril. Wait for your natural pause. You exhale through the right. In right. Exhale through the left. Just continue at your own pace. In left, out right, in right, out left. This works on your parasympathetic and your sympathetic nervous systems, bringing back homeostatic balance. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. Immersing myself in this present moment. I know it's a beautiful moment. In left, out right. In right, out left. Check that your neck is loose, your shoulders are loose, your back is straight. And smile. Free serotonin. 2 more rounds. In left, out right, in right, out left. That's 1 round. Let it all go and see what remains. Okay, now we'll come up and do crescent moon. Here you have to put a bit of support under your knees. So we'll roll up in front of our mat. Just as support for the knees. You can't have too much support for the knees. I know lots of yoga teachers who have damaged their knees. So we'll look in a bit. That's it. So we're going to rest on our left knee. And we're coming forward with the right foot. Make sure you've got the width. I placed my foot there and immediately I was out of balance. So make sure you've got the width between the feet, which will give the balance. So we've done this before. You have the option of taking your left leg at the back, a foot, you can take it across. But basically it's about the width between the 2 feet. And just check that the position is comfortable as you come forward. We're keeping the back straight. We're lifting up, and this is all we're doing. We're just gently coming forward. So if you think we've done the leg lifts, we've done the circles, we've stretched, so we've prepared for this. So we don't want the right foot that's forward, we don't want it too close to the left knee because you'll do something like this. It won't allow you to stretch. You don't want it away too far out because you'll go in too strong of a lunge and you'll get a pull under here, which is no use. That's far too strong. So you find the middle way. So as you go forward, this leg should remain perpendicular to the ground, the right leg. And this is all we're looking for. We're inhaling, lifting up through the chest. And then a gentle lunge forward. That's it. We're not leaning forward. We're keeping the back straight. And you're getting a gentle stretch through the hip area and the hamstring. Keeping the chest open. Inhale. And soften through. And it should feel very comfortable. It's very important to get that support for the knee. Inhale, lift up. And soften through. We've done this before with twisting of the torso and lifting up the arms, but I'm not looking for that today. Inhale up and soften through. So that's the idea. So we're going to change knee. If you feel that this knee's been a little uncomfortable, and it has for me, I'm going to increase the support. I'm going to roll up more of the mat. So we're just changing sides. So the right knee I'm leaning on, and the left leg is forward. Check your balance. Too narrow. It's okay if you're just doing a lunge as we are doing, but once later on you lift arms and twist, then you need the balance. Get the width. Inhale as we lift up through the chest, and you come forward. Full yogic breath. So we've stretched all these areas, we've warmed them all up. So this should feel relatively comfortable. This is a warm up for the next one we're going to do. Check your neck's loose. Shoulders are free. Ragdoll arms. If you're wobbling or shaking, just increase the space between the feet. Increase the width. Inhale as you come up. We're going to go back onto the left knee. And we're going to increase the stretch with the right leg forward. And this time we're going to bend forward and place our hands in any comfortable position. So the hands are inside, the foot is on the outside, the right foot is on the right outside of the right hand. And you'll find right away that you're getting a strong stretch through the hamstring. And this is all we're going to do. We're going to inhale as we concave the back. So you look up, slightly arch up the back, and then exhale as you come forward. Inhale, look up, contraction of the back, slight concave, exhale forward. Now I'm finding that my foot is too close, so I have to edge out my right foot. I can take my fingers in line with my foot almost. This is only my personal stretch. You have to find what's comfortable for yourself. Inhale, concave the back, look up, exhale, come forward. That's me, very comfortable position. I'm supported, I've got my hands, I've got the balance, and I'm getting a lovely stretch through the hip area, through the hamstring. Inhale as we look up. Exhale, soften. Oh, it's a very nice stretch. And there's no risk of damaging yourself here. You can't slip. You can't really push it too far because you have the safety guards. Couple more breaths. Inhale, look up. Exhale, soften through. Come out, we inhale, push through the hands, and that will just take a pressure of the leg as you gently come back. And you can feel the blood and the lymph rushing in. And then walk yourself back with your fingers. You can come back up slowly. Always slowly, always with awareness. And of course, now we'll go with the left leg forward, the same again. So we're getting the width. We come forward. Check it you're in a comfortable position before you go forward with the torso. You can check it, your foot isn't so close. That's no use, that's straining on the knee. This is too far, I lose my balance, too strong a stretch. So I find the middle way and I can test. That's a decent stretch. And then I put my hands down and that's what you work from. So we inhale As I concave the back, look up. This side is much tighter for me. And then come forward. And then you adjust. Then you can take a foot a little bit further forward or wider, and you take your hands into position. My fingers are almost in line with my toes. That's me very comfortable now. And then you can start to put in some work. So we inhale, concave, look up, and then soften forward. Inhale, gently look up. You feel a contraction in the spine. Exhale, soften forward, loosen the spine, and you get a stretch through the groin. So if it does feel uncomfortable, you have to adjust the position of the hands or the feet. And you can stay in this long enough because all you do to take a pressure off the stretch is to push through your fingers and gently come back a bit. And then you can ease back into it at will. Remember, it's never the depth of stretch. It's never the length of time you spend in the stretch. It's where your mind goes as you're there. Couple more breaths. Then you push through your hands, you can lift out. Slide the foot along. And then we're back out of it. Again, sit back on your ankles. Vajrasana. Close your eyes. And breathe slowly and deeply. We'll go back to the alternate nostril. Soften the neck, soften the shoulders. Left hand on top of the right. Left fingers on top of right fingers with the thumbs touching. This is called a mudra. It keeps the energy flowing around the body. In left nostril. Natural pause, out right. In right, out left. In left, out right. In right, out left. One more round. Unroll your mat. And we're going to do the bridge. So we're going to go down on our back with our feet at our seat. Take a few moments to compress the lower back into the ground. Inhale, compress the lower back, the pelvic tilt we did earlier. We're going to raise our arms and raise our seat at the same time as we inhale. Exhale, soften. Adjust your feet. Keep your bottom up in the air. Adjust your feet so they feel parallel. The arms are stretched out behind your head. And we're just going to inhale, stretch through those arms, and lift up through the seat and soften without lowering the seat. Inhale, stretch through those arms, really stretch. Increase the contraction of the gluteals, nice gentle. And soften. Soften the contraction without lowering. Inhale, stretch through those arms. And let go. Now with the bottom still up in the air, just take in your heels a short distance closer to your bottom. Move your heels closer, and this will increase the stretch in your thigh muscles. We've already stretched them. Inhale, stretch through those arms. Contract through the gluteals, and you get a lovely stretch through your thighs and soften. If you feel you want to lower the seat and have a few comfort breaks, breaths, then you lower the arms with the seat so they reach the ground at the same time. If you're comfortable keeping your bottom in the air, inhale, stretch through those arms. Contract the gluteals, lift up and soften. 2 more in your own time. And if you really want to challenge yourself a bit more, you can see if there's any more movement with the heels to come in closer. And again, now inhale, stretch through those arms. And now you'll feel what's happening to your gluteals and your thigh muscles. Remember, we've warmed up all these areas with what we were doing. Inhale, stretch, 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 lift. And relax. Last one, inhale, stretch, lift up, contract. And then slowly, you're lowering the bottom and lowering the arms. And the arms are going a bit quicker because they have to reach the ground the same time as your buttocks. Stretch away the left leg. Stretch away the right. And we'll just finish before Shavasana. We'll just finish with a couple of rounds of Supta Pavamuktasana. Remember the wind releasing posture. It's not the wind that you're thinking. It's releasing blockages of energy within the body. So we inhale as we slide the right heel along. Exhale the right knee, clasp the right knee. Gently squeeze as you tuck the chin into your sternum. Take your knee up to your chest. And this puts the body in the opposite direction it's just been in. Inhale as you release. Exhale as you slide along. Both legs. Inhale as we slide both heels along. Exhale as we squeeze. Taking the chin into the sternum. It doesn't matter how close your head gets to your knees. Squeezing the abdominal area. Squeezing the inguinal nodes in our groin. The lymph nodes under our armpits. Squeezing our thyroid. Stretching the back. Contracting the arm muscles. A super duper stretch, this one. Inhale as we release. Exhale, slide on. And then obviously, left leg. Inhale as we slide along. Exhale as we squeeze. So it's right, both and left, because it's ascending, transverse, descending, colon. Inhale as we release. Stretch out into Shavasana. Yeah. Shavasana. Floppy feet. Palms facing upwards. Take your left shoulder and lift it up and roll it back down. Take your right shoulder, lift it up and roll it back down. Just spend a few seconds to get comfortable. Shugal about. Check that your chin isn't painting the ceiling. Tuck it in gently. Shavasana, where you let go of the old to make space for the new. It's like a spring cleaning. Old thoughts, old habits. As you exhale, soften and surrender your body weight onto the ground. Let it all go and see what stays. So you're trying to increase the surface area, totally surrendering the surface area of the body onto the ground. As you exhale, smile. Free serotonin. Your work is done. There's nowhere to go. There's nothing to do for these few moments. Except let go of the old. Make space for the new. As you're lying there resting, releasing, relaxing, letting go, I'll read out the final quote. So let it all go and see what stays. Fullest life. Life comes with no guarantees, no time outs, no second chances. You just have to live life to the fullest. Tell someone what they mean to you. Tell someone off. Speak out. Dance in the pouring rain. Hold someone's hand. Comfort a friend. Fall asleep watching the sun come up. Stay up late. Be a flirt. Smile until your face hurts. And don't be afraid to fall in love. Most of all, live in the moment. Every second you spend angry, worried, or upset is a second of life you will never get back. So let it all go and see what stays. Namaste with much love.